A public beach is a place for relaxation where you can unwind and forget about everything. But despite the laid-back atmosphere, there is still a certain etiquette that exists there. Today, beachgoers might only be outraged if they see a completely naked person, although it's possible that some among them might defend such a person. However, during the times of the USSR, things were different when it came to morality and appearance. For inappropriate appearance, one could even be chased off the beach or worse, handed over to the police officers. The most stringent appearance requirements were imposed on women. Today, all these bans may seem strange, but back then, things were different. So, what were the restrictions for Soviet women on the beach? Today, a woman sunbathing topless won't surprise anyone with her appearance. Some people might still stare with their mouths open, but the majority of beachgoers won't pay any attention. In the times of the USSR, it was simply impossible to see a lady sunbathing topless on a public beach. In fact, no one even thought of actually undressing in public, really. Such behavior was considered immoral for Soviet citizens. But if it did happen, the woman would be immediately removed from the beach area and publicly condemned. Despite the fact that bikinis appeared in the Soviet Union as early as the 1950s, they were still considered vulgar and provocative clothing for quite a long time. On Soviet store shelves, this shameful model was rarely seen, and indeed women themselves often preferred modest and one-piece swimsuits. It was only in the 1970s that bikinis started being sold everywhere in the USSR, although people still had to run around and search for special models. At the same time, Soviet bikinis hardly resembled modern ones. This was because women believed that even a swimsuit should not expose more than 80% of the body. Therefore, it was impossible to see women in thong swimsuits on Soviet beaches. And if anyone dared to appear in them on a public beach, they would immediately be reprimanded by those around them. In the USSR, there was no place for provocative nudity, even on the beach. Today it is common to see girls sunbathing on the beach not in swimsuits but in underwear. And no one is bothered by it. Many people even think that a swimsuit is practically the same as underwear, so there is no difference in what you wear to sunbathe. However, during the Soviet era, appearing on the beach in underwear was unacceptable. This applied not only to women but also to men. Of course, they wouldn't chase you off the beach for not following this rule, but they could give you a scolding that you wouldn't forget. It is possible to understand all these bans during the USSR era. Then, moral standards were important for people, and they tried to adhere to them everywhere, even on the beach.